looking? Shaggy? Yeah, it's been a while since I shaved. Well, got our smart car up here. Started up this morning. Actually, I noticed it last night, George.
Yeah, I know, dude.
I did see a little bit of a puddle on the ground there, and we're like, crap, that's not good. I thought it was one of our other customer cars. Turns out it's this one. Hey, by the way, I see you're really risking it for the biscuit here.
Oh, yeah, it's just a little. You know how she is.
3 or 4? Hey, it's a good ratio.
It's good. It's good, dude.
I think 4 or 4 sometimes.
I'm not worried about the smart car falling.
Yeah.
I'd be more worried about chipping the floor. This thing's tough.
We got a lot of time and money in the floor, to be honest.
Probably
dude, it does clean up really good, though.
Yeah, it does.
It really does.
It gets dirty real good, too.
All right, so back to the smart car here. We just went off on a wild tangent right there.
I'm just trying to get my mind off this screw here. I'm about to just torch it out. But I won't, because you're standing here. Otherwise, I definitely would.
All right, so the smart car, we had a puddle on the ground, and there was no clutch this morning. So we just got it right back in here, had to pump the clutch up a whole bunch. So we thought that it might have been the handbrake, which is tied to the rear, which is a little bit wonky. We're gonna try and fix this, and in fact, I actually was thinking about we should probably, I almost want to take that back off.
Yeah?
Yeah. Since this is supposed to get the wheelie bars.
There's our fluid right there.
Fluid.
Dripping.
Oh, careful, that's fiberglass there.
Oh, shoot. Nothing a little.
Ah, a little. You already cracked it right there, you know. Bending stuff, won't supposed to be bending. But I think we could probably 60 foot a little better if we took this guy back out, though. That was definitely helping to tame everything, but now that we got the wheelie bars in there.
It's too tame. I mean, you were trying to pull wheelies out here.
Oh, got the money? What money?
Snake said.
Oh, my man.
Snake said 50%. 50%, Johnny. Too much.
Where's that from?
Johnny's not in charge anymore.
Oh, it is from Home Alone?
It's me, Snakes.
Oh, stop.
I'm gonna give you the count of 3. Get you ugly, yellow, no good.
No good.
Over my brow.
Hey, Johnny, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 10. There she goes.
Hey, you do gotta get in shape before the wedding. All right, so I remember this thing being incredibly weird and awkward to mount and deal with.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. It's in a tight spot, but it's a smart car. You know, everything is. Heck, the wheels are in a tight spot. All 3 lug nuts. Anywho,
That's a weird thing. That it's weird. 3 lug nuts, 3 cylinders, not enough room for even 3 people.
And it's only got 3 lives, so it's already used 2 of them. Dun dun dun.
You know, I don't like your tone.
Dun dun dun.
I don't like your attitude, George. I don't need this kind of negativity in my life. All right, so we just had a loose little fitting there. Good to go, you think?
Well, we'll have to climb up there and see, but yeah, I think.
What in the heck do you have there, Viking?
Jeez Louise, you're gonna get demonetized.
This goes against our company policies.
Like this. It's a sickle. A sling blade.
Some people call it a Kaiser blade. I call it a sling blade. Hit Jesse over the head with it.
Man, we had just a moment right before this. We were like quoting all these movies. Just likes me from my body.
Well, drop it like it's hot and see if it's still leaking.
Contrary to popular belief, which by the way, my kids looked up something about me on the internet and it said that I was 5'2" and 200 pounds. Thanks. Anyway, I'm actually 6 foot, and so usually if you're 6 foot, you have about a 6 foot wingspan with a 76-inch wheelbase. So it's like I can almost go center of wheel, center to wheel. To really put that in perspective, they are so ridiculously the wheelbase.
How much bigger than the go-kart? Like 12 inches or something?
I can't remember. It was like maybe a foot. I think it was like a foot longer than the go-kart or something.
That's pretty close to 12 inches, actually.
Mind blown. Fate would have it, Laz.
Time for a rebleed.
Yeah. Air in the clutch.
Rising lights?
Ready, bud?
Rising lights? If you say rise up lights, like you're Australian, rise up lights. Sounds like razor blades. Rise up lights.
You know, I've never really directed that much thought into it,
Rise up lights?
but my mind is now completely opened.
Say it.
Rise of lights.
Rise up lights.
Rise of lights.
Rise up lights? Rise up lights. Say it, lads.
Come on. Say it.
Razor blades?
Rise up lights, but like an Australian accent.
Razor blades?
Australian!
Not
I
bad.
have Australian.
Not Floridian.
I just have Floridian.
We're out of fluid, yeah. Got a little off topic there, off subject.
I think that's how this day's gone. So just doing some bleeding of arcade tune slave.
Good. George,
Good?
good.
Oh yeah, that's it. He's fixed.
Are you getting excited up there, buddy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's like no movement. Rod, really.
Well, guys, we got a whole bunch more stuff coming to you with KaterTot. You know, this thing has been an awesome project, being able to work through all these little problems and adapt and overcome. Now, one of the things we wanted to do here was we wanted to kind of throw back to some of our roots right here. We've got an awesome project that we just completed right here, and I cannot wait for you guys to see this. So check this out. All right, Georgie.
Hey.
We are finishing up a job right here that we had, a car that came in from New Jersey, and just kind of wanted to go over some of the package of what we got here. We'll see what this thing makes on the dyno, but we've done this kind of package a whole bunch of times, and dude, it rips.
Rips pretty good, dude.
Came in with basically our stage 2, which was like full bolt-ons, or well, most bolt-ons really. So it had intake, headers, ported blower. Now we've got a much larger throttle body, which is going to get a little bit more boost. We put a lower pulley on it. We're going to have methanol injection, ported heads, and cam. So this thing should be quite a bit different than what it was factory. I'm going to take you guys for a ride. We do these every once in a while. I mean, they're just such an absolute amazing sensation for driving. The torque is just insane. Not so much just about the power. If you guys have been around a lot of different cars, two cars, you know, of the same power, and one of them has a bunch more torque, the one with the torque is really the one that gets your attention the most. And these have just so much torque. Stick with the factory blower here. We're just optimizing this thing a little bit more than what it was. So this car is an automatic. Can't wait to see what this thing does on the dyno. Anything else you want to add to?
Well, it's not a huge cam. I think it's a stage 2 cam, I think.
So we did a bunch of airbox modifications, so we cut out some stuff there. We have a ram air system that goes in there. All right, well, as George is completing this, we're going to take you guys for a quick little ride on the dyno and doing some stuff on the street as well, and possibly the track. So we'll see how she goes. Well, there she is. She is all done and ready to get tuned up. Now, this thing does not have a tune in it, and I'm actually quite anxious to see what kind of power this thing is going to put down. However, I wanted to take you guys through some of the tuning process here. A lot of times I've kept this really close to my chest because this is way more complex than a lot of the other tuning, but I'm willing to share it with you guys. So tuning one of these later model cars is like 4 times harder than tuning an earlier car like, say, my Miata with that type of LS engine management. So let's check it out. All right, fellas, so we just put a larger camshaft in this car, and in doing so, it generates a lot less vacuum. So one of the first things that we need to do is raise the idle speed. Now, I don't like to go too high. I want to be high enough to where we're not going to have any sort of stalling, and just raising the idle alone is not going to keep it from stalling. So we got to get the right amount of airflow in there as well. Now, good thing is that I had a car that I tuned a short little while ago that had almost the same combination. So we're going to work off of that one, but I'm going to briefly give you a rundown of what everything is and does. First, we have our commanded idle, which was 625. We're going to raise that up to about 800. That seems a little high on this, but we probably might end up settling on an 850 idle. This has a stock converter. Okay, so this is our airflow for idle. What we're going to try and do is raise this so that it's not just idle speed. We might even be able to settle at a 700 idle speed, but if we raise this up to a value of something like that, that might be able to get us to have a better quality idle. So we're going to copy that over, and we're also going to make it slow its descent back down to idle. Now, everything in this processor is really related to torque, so this is what makes it vastly different than some of the earlier generations. We're going to tell it that it has more torque for holding and controlling idle. All right, so this is our base fuel map. This is basically what our stock fuel map looks like, and a lot of guys like to see that in a 3D. That's the factory one there. You can see it's a lot of rigid areas and it's a little funky. We're going to copy this over from our other one, and then I'll show you what it looks like then. So much smoother, and where we have the camshaft is going to fill the cylinder worse down low, but a lot greater up top. So all in all, this is a much cleaner map for our base fuel map. That's the foundation of which everything is based upon, what everything is built upon. Now with this camshaft, it has some variable cam timing. It's not like VTEC so much. It does move, advance, and retard the cam. And what we're going to do is we're going to set in a certain specs what we have found works the best. So we move some cam timing around with this, and we're going to apply that right now. This is another table that has to do with controlling the airflow, which is the overall base airflow that should help control our idle speed better. Now our mass airflow, this is our main other fuel map that is built upon the foundational map. This one's going to need a lot of tweaking, and it's going to be a little bit different than the other map. I can start modifying this map a little bit, but because we have methanol coming in, that's supplemental fuel, so I'm going to end up pulling fuel away in a certain area where the methanol comes on. Now the beauty of this methanol kit is that it comes on the same place every time, so it makes it easier rather than it being boost based. This one is MAF based, and the car is on MAF. All right, so we're going to cut some fuel out of the base fuel map, so that's under open loop. And we're going to set our wide open throttle mixture. So this is our wide open throttle target. We are going to raise the rev limiter because having a camshaft in there and having ported heads, this thing is definitely going to want to make power up at a higher RPM. Now this car does not have flex fuel. Now normally we would do that. However, this car is going to an area where they don't have E85. So hence part of the reason we did methanol injection on top of that. But methanol injection with E85, that's a match made in heaven right there. So our spark map, ooh, this other car was able to run 26.5 degrees, which is quite a bit. Right now we're set up at 20 to 22 degrees. All right, we'll see if we can run that even with more boost. We'll try and start with that and then go from there. All right, so there's boost limits, there's airflow limits. We're gonna knock those all out. Oh boy, no, don't do that. One of the big things with direct injection is you can control the low pressure fuel pump as well as the high pressure fuel pump. And injection timing is incredibly important, and that is modified based off of pressure. So if your pressure drops, the injection timing goes wacky. If the pressure is too high, the injection timing comes down. It gets to be a little wild, and we'll work some of those details out. I have a preset map right here that I like to run, and we'll go from there to that. It was factory to there, so we're taking fuel out there, but we're adding a bunch of fuel under load. All right, we're gonna go load this up and see how this thing runs here. Start. That just made 773, 694, and it's off the chart rich. It's a little lean at idle, but part throttle wise, it's like right on the money. Wide open, it's very rich. A lot of times people also think, hey, it's rich. That doesn't mean that it's rich all the way across the board. With electronic fuel injection, it can be rich in one area, lean in another area. It can be dead lean here, it can be pig rich there. It's all over the place. So that's what I'm up against right now. So like I said, a little lean down low, the middle is spot on, and then wide open is very rich. So we're gonna clean that up right now.
You can build on that.
That dog will hunt.
That's right. Talk nerdy to me.
Oh, you still in my line?
How could that be your line when it's your line?
That dog will hunt. We can build on that. Stop zooming in on the gray hairs.
Most of the day, just right here. Get a good POV of what's going on.
All right, so
here.
look, hold on. All right, so I know 98% of my audience is males. Guys, as you get older, cold hard fact is hair starts growing out of your ears. Hair removes itself from the areas that it should be, and it migrates to other areas. So
you don't even have to be that old. It's already happening to me.
Yeah.
And they sprout quickly. It's
daily.
like miracle grow.
It is.
I mean, fastest hair that grows on my body, 100%.
Your hair?
Ears. I wake
I think
up one
you could
day
actually
and
look at a man and guess how old he is by his hair. 63.
That's why everyone thinks I'm so much older than I really am, probably.
Tough break.
And then I got the little trimmer that's like.
Hey, you're wearing
goes
your
in
seniors 10 shirt again. That's when we had that initial
2010,
discussion.
man.
Yeah.
Yep, that's when I graduated.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
Tough.
All right, let's get back to this.
All right, back to the nerdiness.
We are actually making right at about almost 16.5 pounds of boost, and it's probably going to trail down a little bit right there. It drops about a pound, so we're at 215 kPa, drops down to 205 actually, so a pound and a half. We got 5,000 RPM. That's a lot of timing still, but we got a lot of fuel. So I'm going to start taking fuel out, 478 grams per second, up to 644. Let's do it.
This thing's just getting tuned on 93 because I'm guessing he don't have E up there where he lives.
Right, so E and meth. So pretty much we're going to go right on here. We're going to take out a healthy sum of 13% right there, and then we're going to kind of taper it in a little bit here. Blending a little bit.
There you go.
And
Tapered like a turd. So your butt don't slam shut. That's why they're tapered.
yeah. Never thought of it that way, George. Never thought of it that way at all.
I can feel my ear hair growing because I'm getting older and wiser.
Just gonna do that right now and go from there. So I'm gonna leave the spark advance curve and see if we have spark knock. You can watch it out the back. Again, we always talk about how it puffs and stuff in the back. See how we go.
All right.
So whatever the torque was before, it would have made about 33 more. We're still 15% rich.
Well,
Let's fix that.
Just taper out about 15% then,
You know,
the way I showed you.
thanks. All right, fellas. The recipe, what we just did right here is we took off another 15% fuel, and again, that's because we got so much methanol going there. George, we got two 15-pound nozzles in there, right?
I believe so.
Okay. And so we're ending up taking about 30% fuel out. So the methanol is supplementing the fuel, but it's also 116, 117 octane, and it super cools all of that. So that's why we're doing methanol injection on this. It keeps that positive displacement blower that makes a lot of heat cooled enough, and it really stretches the fuel system. So hence why I have to take so much fuel out. All right, so we're going to load up this tune, and then hopefully we pick up another moderate amount of power. You get into diminishing returns pretty quick, where it makes harder and harder and harder to gain more power. But once you get that thing dead nuts in the money right there, it's just, that's where it's going to make the most power. We have a good solid timing curve. I will manipulate that a little bit, but we're looking good, buddy. Real good.
making some torque, brother.
Yes, sir. Lo and behold, we are still rather rich. So, dude, I'm pumped. This is freaking some power right
It's
here.
not
man.
too shabby.
I think I told the customer, I'd be like, if it makes a little under 800, it'll be fine. You know, it'll be strong, you know, but yeah. When I first started off, I was saying how hard this is going to be and whatever. This has gone so perfect. I mean, this doesn't often happen, but it's the same package that we've done pretty much. So this has made it look really simple. So we're making our most boost right here. We're showing about 19.5 degrees. And then the boost actually trails down and we're at 26.5 degrees. So the CTS-V2 that has a smaller blower as well. And when you put heads and cam on it, it trails down boost. So you can ramp up the spark curve as a result. This one is a little bit extreme. So it seems to be going good, but clean up some more fuel and we're ready to rip. Nothing. So that's that diminishing return I was kind of talking about. It's like huge gains, less gains, and then nothing. So there we have it. I think we're going to quit for the night. It's about 7 p.m. on a Friday. Time to go home.
I like it.
However, I'll be here tomorrow.
If you need me tomorrow, just call me. Blast.
All right, guys, I figured this would be a fun little trip right here because we got Ben's CTS-V right here, and then he has been 970s. That is the fastest bolt-on V3 in the world. This car certainly doesn't have all of the goodies that Ben's had in order to get it there, but let's see what he thinks. All right, so we're gonna go do a real rip over at Showtime, you know, a couple blocks away. I actually did a little rip last night, and it's probably one of the fastest I've ever been on that track. We got some market cars testing over here right now.
Yeah.
So some pretty bad machines. So I actually just had my go-kart on this track, and I went within a second of what these like pro cars are doing, but in a go-kart. So I'm super pumped. Can't wait to share that video with you guys. It's gonna be awesome.
Rips. I don't know if it's just like, you know, cars feel different in the passenger seat, but
just flat dangerous,
yeah.
Honestly.
Dang, man, that feels healthy.
You know,
you can really tell the difference, like fourth and fifth gear. It just keeps going.
Yeah. I think it's faster than a centrifugal car that makes 1,000. Personally, yeah.
Just because of that brunt at the bottom, or?
It's just the overall average torque. This cools down so much faster than Garrett's car too. So like Garrett's car, even though it made 1,000 plus, it's not, you know, it's not like anywhere near there. Red. I'll do third. Okay, I'm actually second.
Oh man. So mean, man.
Yeah, it does. Got the fastest bolt-on V in the world. What's your final takeaway on this, dude?
Dude, this thing feels significantly better. I mean, it just like every time you grab a gear, it pulls even harder.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's kind of apples to oranges, but yeah, this car just moves.
Yeah, and we couldn't even get full throttle until 4th. That's 4th right there.
Yeah.
118 on one of the previous ones right there. And just limiting the throttle so much because of traction control. Couldn't get, and we actually broke traction right there at 87 miles an hour.
It needs some tires.
This one's more of the perks of the job rather than breaking a transmission on Cletus's car, you know, so yeah. Yeah, fun ride.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, job well done. Definitely kudos to the guys getting everything done. Very, very pleased. I think the customer will be really happy with the car. We have a good play day?